500.
It's your boy, Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil, doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I want to turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at this sad life. She fine as yeah. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like yeah, 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stock pick. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-Wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot keys. Strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thought, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, open up some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them man, big profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and stop. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them man, make profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, she pull the trigger and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them man, make profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and stop. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? Make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Make profits. That TTG money gang, making profits. We some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. I want to welcome you guys all here today on what was a record-setting day today. It was a record-setting day. Today, we got the largest jobs revision preliminary number. We got the largest jobs revision for the 12-month period that we've ever had in history. Minus 911,000 jobs from what originally was reported. And I think it's pretty safe to say that Mr. JP effed up. They effed up. Now, to be fair, they didn't have all the information, right? They didn't have all the data available. If they knew the real jobs numbers over the last year or so, they probably would have started cutting rates in February. But they didn't have that information. They get these revisions just the same time that you and I do. Okay. They find out the labor numbers and the job numbers, job openings, unemployment, jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, ADP number, non-farm payroll, government hires, private sector hires. They get that information right around the same time as you and I. So as we sit here today, we have to talk about the Fed. We've got to talk about the jobs market, the labor market, inflation data coming up tomorrow and on Thursday. The markets are now pricing in 3 rate cuts for this year. Some people are talking about the possibility of a 50 basis point rate cut at this September meeting. I don't think they're going to give you a 50 basis point cut. They're most likely going to give you a 25. But then I think you could expect a 25 basis point cut in October and another 25 basis point cut in December. They'll give you 3 25 basis point cuts to finish off the year. I'm going to explain and talk to you guys about what happened with the jobs numbers today. There's a lot of volatility that we have coming up. This inflation data is going to create more volatility. There's a lot riding on the inflation data we're about to get these next couple of days. We are also, though, not in a recession. So as everybody is freaking out, running around with their hair on fire about these job numbers, we are not in recession. GDP last quarter was 3.3%. The unemployment rate is 4.3%. We are not in a recession. The world is not ending. But there's no denying what the numbers and the data are coming in at. And you have to talk about it. And you have to wonder what the hell is going on. I'm going to break it all down. I'm going to let everyone understand where my head is at and what I think happens from this point forward. But you have to always remember, when periods like this arise, when you get these levels of increased volatility, it's a good thing for us. Volatility is your friend. Volatility is not your enemy. Okay? Volatility for us is your friend. Why? Because volatility means bigger moves in shorter periods of time, and that means greater money-making opportunities and larger percentage gains in shorter periods of time. And at the end of the day, that's what we're all here for. We're all here not to talk about politics, not to talk about religion, not to talk about sports, although I do love me a good sports reference and a good sports conversation. Sometimes I will slip those in during these live streams, so don't hate me for it. But we're here to talk about how we can make money from the markets. And this is the best damn market environment that I've ever seen. I've been saying that since after COVID, and it doesn't make it any less true. We have another example today. The markets are right back to all-time highs. One of our long-term portfolio holds Oracle. Oracle, a stock that we've owned now this year, was on my market outlook report this year. It's one of the stocks that we added in April when the tariff sell-off happened, and that stock is gapping up to new all-time highs on some of the strongest, most ridiculous revenue and sales guidance that I've ever seen in my entire life, showing the strength and the power behind the AI trade. So congratulations to all of my TTG members that own Oracle with me and added to Oracle with me in the 120s earlier this year, back in April, when we had the big stock market sell-off. I bought Oracle in the 150s, and I bought Oracle a larger piece in the 120s, and that stock is now sitting up at new all-time highs. I'll give you some updates on positions that I'm already in. If you guys have been following the live streams for the last several days, you know that I'm long CoreWeave from around $90. That stock is also going off now at around $105 a share. A beautiful trade from us. A beautiful trade for us in Strategy Trading Group, and is a monster trade. You're looking at, I think we're at like a 6-to-1 at this point, 6 or 7-to-1 at this point. We'll break that down. We'll cover it all with you guys here, and we'll discuss what we can expect from tomorrow's inflation data, and then most importantly, how the hell we're going to make money from it. My name is Michael Edward Parinati. I go by Michael Edward, and I'm the co-founder and head trader at TTG. You have to realize that True Trading Group exists literally to help you learn faster, trade smarter, and profit sooner. That's what we're going to do here tonight. We are very proud, okay, and want to thank our partners, okay? We're very proud to be powered by the NASDAQ, Benzinga, OpenAI, TradingView, DataBento, and Unusual Whales. You see, guys, True Trading Group is not just a chat room with trade alerts and courses. True Trading Group is a fintech platform, an award-winning fintech platform, having received the 2024 Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. We are coming for more of those awards this year. We are up for some more awards this year. We'll keep you posted as we get to the end of the year on how all of that goes. TTG is a platform that is built on education that's backed by experience. It's strategies that are proven through success and tools that actually think and are all part and customized around and centered around you, the individual. So no matter who you are or what you trade or how much experience you have or how much money you have or don't have, TTG exists to help you guys to make money. Members of True Trading Group are part of something real special. I couldn't be any more proud to be on this journey with each and every single one of them. So we'll roll our sleeves up, get into tonight's session. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. If it's your first time on the True Trading Group YouTube channel, do yourself a huge favor. Subscribe to the channel right now. And then as soon as you do that, smash that like button, show some love, smash it like you just hit your biggest trade that you ever have, because now that you're part of the TTG fam, I'm sure that's going to be right around the corner. So start getting used to it. You might be wondering who the hell I am and why you should listen to anything that I discuss on this channel. It's a great question. It's a valid question. I don't think that you should pay attention to what I talk about on this channel because I think that I'm the world's greatest trader. It's not because I have a 99.9% win rate either. Okay, the reason why I think you should pay attention to what we discuss here is because I didn't figure this stuff out on my own by watching YouTube videos or sitting in Discord chats. I began my career as a trader working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City. My first job right out of college, I was trained by professionals on Wall Street. They had me go through a training program before they let me touch $1 of the fund's money. And then shortly after that, 2008 happened. That was the Great Recession, the huge stock market crash. But 2008 also happened to be the same year I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward many years later, I'm the co-founder and the head trader at True Trading Group, and along with my team of 8 other professional full-time trading mods and an over 30-person staff, we have helped thousands of members all over the world to reach their goals. True Trading Group is a global community of over 10,000 members in 114 different countries. So if you guys are new, subscribe, smash that like button, show some love, and let's get ready to make some damn money. Let's talk about what happened today with the jobs revisions. I'm going to take a quick little sip of water. And then we're going to dive in. So let's talk about what happened today. Today you got the job revisions from March 2024 to March 2025. And those job revisions were expected to be anywhere from negative 450,000 to negative 900,000 on the high end. The number came in at negative 911,000. What does that mean? That means that 911,000 jobs that we thought were created from March 2024 to March 2025 did not. Those jobs have been revised away. So that's 911,000 jobs less than we thought we had last year. Now, this comes on top of another large revision that we got back in, I think it was November. I forgot what month it was, but we got another very large revision about a year ago. Okay. Another large revision that took away, again, another 500,000, or I forgot what the exact number was on the other one. So essentially, when you look back and you look at the jobs market, let's just focus on the 12 months ending March 2025. Let's just look at that period of time, okay? Why this starts to become, hey, Jerome Powell and Fed company, you guys effed up. Where that comes from is the whole premise behind the Fed being able to keep interest rates as high as they are is because the labor market was giving them cover to do so. The labor market had been strong. The labor market had been stable. And because the labor market was strong and stable, the Fed could sit there and say, well, we're not sure what's going to happen with inflation. We've got these tariffs. We're not sure what the case of what this is going to look like. But we don't need to cut right now because the job market's fine. So we can keep rates where they are. Okay? They can keep rates where they are. But this revision and the revision that we got just a couple of weeks ago when we revised June's monthly number, we had that huge negative revision on the June jobs numbers that were added in the month of June. This revision we got today is the 12-month period from March 24 to March 25. Last month, we got the revision, or the other week, a couple weeks ago, we got the revision from the June monthly number, which was, again, another huge negative revision. So essentially, this whole thought process, this whole theory about the job market giving the Fed cover and allowing them to keep rates where they are really wasn't the case. The labor market wasn't necessarily as strong as the Fed thought it was, and as everybody else thought it was. It's not just the Fed. It's not like everybody, the whole world knew this and it was just the Fed that didn't know. This is all new information. And now as we sit here, we look back and we say, well, the Fed now is late. The Fed now is late. Then you might be wondering, why is the market still moving higher? Well, that's because it's also, the labor market is also not as weak as some people might have thought. I know that might sound crazy, but let me explain. We have not gotten necessarily yet to a point, and I say yet, we haven't gotten to a point yet where we are necessarily cutting and losing jobs. We're just at a point right now where job growth has stalled so much to a point that we're just not creating any new jobs. That the job market, as far as growth is concerned, has stalled. You're not yet at a point where you have negative job growth, which means you're losing jobs month after month after month. Okay, even this massive revision of minus 911,000 from the 12 months, March 24 to March 25, still leaves you with a positive number for that 12-month period. It's just gotten to a point where the growth of job openings has now slowed. We're actually, for the first time since COVID, we're at the first time since COVID where you have more people looking for a job than there are job openings. That's the first time since COVID. Now, prior to COVID, you also had that. That's not like a shocking thing. It was just the labor market was so completely out of whack during COVID because of all the people that retired early, all these resignations, people decided to leave the workforce and everything else. There was this massive imbalance of supply and demand for labor. Okay, so this is the first time, though, now that you're going back to a state of normalcy. And that's really what's happening. You're going back to a state of normalcy. And although the job market is not as strong as we thought that it was, corporate earnings are stronger than we thought they would be. And that's why the market's moving higher. The market is the most concentrated that it has ever been in history. You have just a handful of stocks make up like 18%, okay, of the weighting in the S&P 500. You're at a point right now where the best stocks, the best companies, and the best stocks in the world, okay, are continuously moving higher. Continuously moving higher. NVIDIA, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Apple, Microsoft. The combined weighting of the S&P 500 stocks with a 3% or more share of the entire index has just hit a brand new all-time record, 32%. 32%. That means you have a highly concentrated market. The S&P 500 is a market cap weighted index. The larger the market cap, the more impact you have on the index. So a company like NVIDIA that has a 4-point-something trillion dollar market cap obviously has the highest weighting of them all. And these are the companies that continue to move higher. Now you might be saying, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Let me break this down in simple terms, what this means. Type the number 1 if you guys are paying attention. I'm going to quick little show of hands. Type the number 1 if you guys are paying attention. Get a quick little C here. All right. I like it. All right. I like it. We got a lot of people here that are paying attention. I like that. I like when people pay attention. I like when people pay attention. Okay. So what this all means is that the single greatest, most important piece to the stock market's performance is the AI trade. That is the single most important piece. It's not inflation. It's not the job numbers. It's the AI trade. It's the AI trade. Because all of the stocks that make up the largest weightings in the S&P 500 are all of your AI related names. The market has been incredibly resilient over the last couple of weeks. We just entered the month of September. The month of September is supposed to be the weakest month of the entire year, the worst performing month of the whole year. It has been the last 10 years. It has been the last 50. It has been the last 100. Historically, it's the weakest month of the whole year. And everybody thought the market's going to go down in September. And hell, we still might. It's only September 9th. We still can go down, but right now, September, here we are sitting and the markets are green. We're right up at an all-time high. And we've had 2 chances so far this month for the markets to really sell off. Yet 2 chances. We have digested now multiple pieces of what is considered bad news, and the markets have still continued to move higher. And they continue to move higher because companies like Oracle keep putting out the earnings that they just did. Oracle, the following. They missed on earnings per share and they missed on sales. But here's what they said. Oracle expects cloud infrastructure revenue to grow 77% to $18 billion this fiscal year. And then they expect it to increase to $32 billion the year after that. And then $73 billion the year after that, $114 billion the year after that, and $144 billion over the subsequent 4 years. Most of the revenue in this 5-year forecast is actually already booked. You're talking about a backlog of $455 billion. That is a 359% increase. That is why the markets are continuing to move higher, because things around AI and infrastructure, all of that continues to push this market higher. Corporate earnings continue to push this market higher. And as bad as the job numbers were today, and as bad as they were on that the past Friday, guess what? GDP is still 3.3%. The consumer is still spending. And we are about to, for the first time in history, listen to me very carefully. For the first time in history, we are about to cut rates with stocks at all-time highs, core CPI above 3%, and GDP above 3%. No point in history have we ever had those 3 things when we cut interest rates. Ever. That is why you still have so many people that are saying, nope, stay long equities. Nope, I think the markets can move higher. You saw a bunch of people on CNBC today talk about, you got to stay, the markets, I'm staying long equities. Don't fight the Fed. Typically, historically, when the Fed cuts rates, if you're not in a recessionary environment and the Fed cuts rates, that's typically been a good sign. That's typically followed equities moving higher. It's been a bullish indicator. It's when the Fed cuts rates when you are having a recessionary environment, that's not bullish. That's not a buy signal. That's a sell signal. And I think the markets are in this pretty dynamic situation right now where you don't necessarily know, is this a situation where, is this good or is this bad? Well, we're cutting rates and we don't have a recession. GDP was 3.3%, unemployment's 4.3%, and the Fed's about to cut rates and stocks are at all-time highs. Don't fight the Fed? Okay, don't fight the Fed. It's one of the oldest sayings on Wall Street. Don't fight the Fed. Okay, well, the Fed's cutting rates and that means markets are going higher. But then you have this situation where this recent fluctuation of the jobs numbers and this realization that the labor market's not as strong as we thought, now you say to yourself, well, is this a bad thing though? Because we went from the Fed was going to cut rates because they can, which is always a good thing, to now the Fed is going to cut rates kind of because they have to. That's not a good thing. That's why the inflation data that we're about to get is going to be so important. Because what if the inflation data tomorrow and Thursday comes out so incredibly high that it makes the Fed question, shit, what are we going to do? How can we cut rates if inflation is continuing to move to the upside? But I'll tell you this right now. If tomorrow's inflation number and Thursday's inflation number, I'll tell you this right now. If those numbers come in under expectations, this market's going to rip. You're going to see new all-time highs tomorrow. You'll see new all-time highs on Thursday, and you will see stocks continue to move higher. And you're going to sit there, you're going to say, how the hell does any of this make sense with the jobs numbers that we just got? It makes sense because if inflation is lighter than expected, it gives the Fed more runway to be more aggressive with their rate cuts. And if the Fed can be aggressive with rate cuts and you don't have a recessionary environment, that's a sign for more upside. That's a sign for the market rally to broaden itself out and for small caps to catch up and interest rate sensitive stocks to catch up and industrials to move higher and financials to move higher, not just stocks that are involved in AI like Oracle, NVIDIA, Broadcom, and the stocks that are moving higher right now. That turns out to be a good thing. If you are not positioned properly for this, you're screwed. You're screwed. There's many people on this live stream that are not positioned for this. There's many people on this live stream that probably panicked and sold everything in April when the markets were crashing. That was the worst possible thing you could have done. We were aggressive buyers. If you were on this live stream, you don't take my word for it. Go back and watch my live stream from April 6th. It's on this channel. Really, I don't like to play Monday morning quarterback. I don't like to say, oh, look what I said, look what I said. I don't want you to do any of that stuff. I want you to go back and watch my live stream from April 6th. When I came on here in the face of the markets crashing and I told everybody, tomorrow morning, April 7th, I'm buying everything I can get my hands on. That was verbatim what I said to you. And almost every single one of those stocks is up between 100 and 150% since April 7th. It was one of the greatest buying opportunities of the last decade. And we swallowed it up. Listen, people that are on this live stream that are saying to themselves, oh, I'll wait until I'm ready. I'll wait till I can focus on this 100%. I'll wait until I can do this full time. I'll wait until I have extra money to play with. Everyone with all of those excuses, honestly, just sign off. Sign off the channel, because if that's the excuse that you're giving yourself right now, oh, I don't have enough time. I'll do this when I have more time. You're never going to have more time. You don't need more time. I don't need you to give me 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week to do this. I need you to give me 3 or 4. And you can't tell me you can't find 3 to 4 hours to give me. I want people to really just stop complaining about, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I can't get ahead. It's hard. No shit, it's hard. It's hard. You're struggling. Cost of living is high. I get it. I get it. A lot of people are struggling. Trust me, I know it. Trust me, I know it. But the reality is, the cold hard truth, I'm not sitting here. I'm not going to coddle anybody. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. What you need to hear is no one's coming to save you. The price of everything you buy at the grocery store is not going to magically go down. The cost of your health insurance and your car insurance and your electricity bill, it's not going down. No one is coming to save you. No one's coming to the rescue. You're never going to be able to get ahead. You're never going to be able to come out of saying, this is hard, I'm struggling, if you're going to continue to make excuses. We're at a point right now where you have to say to yourself, enough is enough. I've got to start taking a step. I've got to start, heading to trying to accomplish my goals. I've got to take a step forward. I've got to invest in myself. I've got to do something different. I can't just keep sitting back, doing nothing and complaining, because sitting back, doing nothing, complaining, I promise you nothing will change. You've got thousands of members of True Trading Group that are right here on this live stream, right here, right now, that were once in your exact same shoes, that were probably pondering or wondering, is TTG the place for me? Do I want to do this? Should I? Don't join True Trading Group because you guys think that I'm the greatest trader in the world. I don't think that I'm the greatest trader in the world. I am not the greatest trader in the world. I'm a damn good one. The mods and I collectively have a win rate, a cumulative win rate at all of our executions of around 80% now for the last 5 or 6 years. We track every buy, every sell, every win, every break even, every red, all of it. Take profits, stop losses, the whole 9. It's all tracked right there for you guys on the website. Full transparency. Okay? But the reality is that the members of True Trading Group, they went and invested in themselves. They went and became part of this platform. They have access to tools and resources that give them an advantage, not just level the playing field. TTG is a fintech platform with tools and resources that you will not find anywhere else. That gives you an advantage over other traders. I've honestly, at TTG, we have helped build the greatest retail trading community in the world. I truly and genuinely believe that. regardless of how much money that they have or didn't have, or how much experience they have or didn't have. They did it, and they continue to do it. And don't take my word for it. Members of True Trading Group, let's ask them. Members of TTG that are on this live stream, do me a favor. I want you to type number one if you guys are making money and you're becoming better traders because of TTG. If it's because of TTG, I want you to type the number one in chat right now if you guys are making money and you're becoming better traders. And anyone else that's on this live that is not a member, that's maybe thinking about it, or maybe you're not thinking about it, whatever, I want you to pay attention to how many people type the number one. Because these are your friends, your family members, your coworkers, these are your peers. And if all of these people can sit here and tell you that I am making money now that I'm part of this community. Now that I utilize the tools and resources available to me on this platform, now I am making money in the market. Then there's no reason why you can't too. They're not luckier than you, and they sure as hell don't have more time than you. 82% of our members have a full-time job. If they can do this, then so can you. We have a mobile app you can download. When you become a member, it sends you real-time push notifications when our mods enter and exit positions. We have an award-winning AI called Mari that can help guide you through every single aspect of your trading. Can give you real-time analysis, all completely customized to your style, your strengths, your weaknesses, your risk tolerance. There is a reason why we received the Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. There is a reason why we are partnered with companies like the NASDAQ. There's a reason why we have over 10,000 members. There's a reason why you see all these people typing the number one inside of chat. It's because the combination of the community, the tools, the resources, the AI, the education, the mentorship, the guidance, it works. That's why. Brandon made $1,700 just today in profit, thanks to TTG's education and the platform. $1,700 just today alone. This is real stuff, guys. How many people are on here right now that are not members? Do me a favor, type the letters TTG if you are not a member of True Trading Group. Again, if you're not a member, type the letters TTG real quick. Don't be shy. Just type the letters TTG if you're not a member. Again, if you're not, just type the letters TTG if you are not a member. Daniel Perez, what's up, my man? Glad to have you here. So go ahead, folks. Just type the letters TTG. We got Robert, GH. Let's see who's not going to make money tomorrow. Richard. First time here. Nice, Daniel. Welcome, man. Ageless. Welcome. I like that tux, bro. I like that tux. Nice. Bernard just joined yesterday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, well, listen. Those of you that are not members of True Trading Group, right? Those of you that are not, okay, listen to me carefully. I have something available for you guys now. We have a 90-day offer. There's my man, the Fade Doctor, says the platform is robust, fam. We have a 90-day offer, okay? That 90-day offer is 90 days, $397. Okay. However, Me D, what's up? How are you? Srini says the support is excellent. It is. Yes, Knife of Life. I did see Core Weave. We are still long Core Weave. We are dominating Core Weave. We are killing Core Weave. We are raking it in on Core Weave. I'm very happy with that position. We have not yet raised the price, though, for that 90-day membership. We're going to today. So here's the deal. I don't need you to join us for a full year. What I want you to do is I want you to join True Trading Group for 90 days. Try it out. Try the platform, use the AI, use the tools and resources available to you on the platform that give you an advantage over other retail traders. Follow along with some of the trade alerts that the moderators are sending out. Attend some workshops, go through the courses and the educational material, communicate with some other members, and let's make some damn money together for 90 days. And then decide if you want to stay here for an annual membership. Never mind a lifetime membership. We have over 4,800 lifetime members in True Trading Group. Lifetime memberships cost thousands of dollars. So you got to wonder, why would 4,800 people become lifetime members? Well, that's because they're making money. And why would they not? Right? There's a reason, like I said, that we have 10,000 members in 114 different countries. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we're going to let the next 15 people that want to join True Trading Group, I'm going to let you join for just $197 for the next 90 days. Go to ttgoffer.com. Everything that you see on that page is going to be included for $197 for 90 days. Now, there's no automatic renewal. There's no automatic upgrade after 90 days. If you want to stay with us after your 90 days are over, you must manually process another transaction. You've either got to do another 90 days or you can sign up for the full annual membership and save yourself some money if you purchase for the full year rather than keep paying 90 days, 90 days, 90 days. You have to do it yourself. It's not going to happen automatically. We don't play games like that. Okay. If you forget to cancel, all of a sudden we charge you for an annual membership. No. If you do nothing after your 90 days, you just lose access to the platform and that's it. You're done. That's it. Very simple. Go to ttgoffer.com. Everything you see on that page is included for just $197. You're going to get Mari. That's the award-winning AI trading co-pilot. It connects your education, your charts, news, all your tools into one intelligent system. You don't need to know complex prompts. You talk to it in plain English. You get fast chart analysis, market context, and personalized support for your trades. You get our university level curriculum, simplified and expanded upon version of the training that I received when I worked at the fund in New York. You get our chat room, obviously, with all the trade alerts and the mobile app, so you can follow along even if you're not in front of your computer. You get the daily watch list for swing trading and day trading. You can get Benzinga Pro's real-time news feed with the Squawk feature, Trading Views premium charting software, the Trade Ideas scanner, 2,000 hours inside of our video library with a bunch of different workshops covering different topics. You get a free workshop every month with TTG. This is included in your membership. You guys do not need to pay $1 extra for this stuff. It's all included. Unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data, short data. All of this is included, guys, when you guys join for $197 for 90 days. ttgoffer.com. Then that 90-day membership is going to move up to $397. You can join tonight for $197, but it's only for the next 15 people. So hurry up and go to ttgoffer.com. If you have any questions or you need help, text us 1-888-621-2127. Again, that is 1-888-621-2127. Phone numbers at the bottom of your screen. Now, if you used to be a member or if you used to be a trial member and you would like to come back home, you must text that number. We have to whitelist your account. Since you've already been a member, we have to whitelist your account to give you the 90-day deal for $197. So again, that is ttgoffer.com. Text us 1-888-621-2127. Get it? Got it? Good. Thanks, Reaper. Reaper says, sorry, Mike, you're a good trader, but I think Mari is the best. Mari is damn good, man. I'm not going to lie. Mari is damn good. But my fingerprints are all over Mari, right? My fingerprints, I'm all over Mari. We developed Mari. We trained Mari. So Mari and I are quite similar. But I will say Mari is definitely better. Mari can do stuff that I can't do. It's very simple. Mari can analyze level 3 data and give us a whole, order flow analysis I can't do that stuff. So Mari is absolutely incredible. You are correct. So again, guys, ttgoffer.com, $197 for 90 days. Simple as that. All right, we'll take things on now, back on over to the charts. And let's talk about what we are expecting tomorrow. So I talked to you guys about the inflation data that we're getting tomorrow. PPI tomorrow, CPI Thursday. It's actually one of the few times a year we get PPI. We get the PPI before we get the CPI. Can you please repeat? Yeah, just ttgoffer.com, or you can send a text message, Robert, to 1-888-621-2127. All right, so as we get into this inflation data that we have tomorrow and then on Thursday, if you were to get a lighter than expected inflation number, I think the markets move higher. I think that it just means that the Fed can cut rates more aggressively. And I think you get, some price action over the next couple of days that probably looks something like that. And you probably just kind of float our way to the upside. If you get a shockingly high inflation number between tomorrow and Thursday, then I think you probably kind of top it out up here. And I would think that we would pull ourselves back down, and you probably pull back into these dark blue line. You probably pull back into that dark blue line and then get into this structured support level down here around 635. And essentially this pullback takes you back into like the mid to high 630s if you get a shockingly high inflation number. And then I think you probably that would solidify a red month of September. And I think the markets would actually probably, maybe you bounce off that 50-day, but then from there, I think you would sell down through and you would break that level, and you probably have yourself a nice little pullback in the month of September that takes you back to around 619 or so, 620 on the SPY. And I think that's a very realistic type of price action if you were to get something like that, because if the Fed, if you got shockingly high inflation, I think that might make people feel like the Fed might not be as aggressive with rate cuts this year. I think that would kind of lead to the markets beginning to them start to shake up a little bit and start to give you a bit of a pullback. Because right now the markets are looking at this as the jobs numbers being as weak as they were, gives now the runway for 3 rate cuts. Okay. Prior to that, the markets were thinking 2 rate cuts. Now the markets are thinking 3. If you got shockingly high inflation, I think the markets might begin to price out that 3rd rate cut, but feeling like they might need the 3rd rate cut with the job market. And I think that gives the markets, I think that might give the markets a little bit of a pullback. But that's shockingly high inflation. If the inflation comes in just a little bit hot or in line with honestly, if it comes in line with expectations, I still think you move higher. But if it's a little bit high, if it's a little bit hot on the inflation number, I think that the markets would just kind of would just be a little choppy. I don't necessarily think that we would really sell off. I think it would be a little bit choppy up here in the 640s, but I really only think that you're looking at, a real pullback if you get shockingly high numbers. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm thinking about there. Okay. So there we go. Those are my thoughts in regards to the overall market going into the inflation data that we have coming up. All right. Now, from there, let's just go over just some of the positions that I'm already in. Again, I'll just give you guys the update for those that have been follow me on the CoreWeave trade. I was on this live stream on Sunday night, and I kind of told you guys, I gave you guys my top trade ideas for the week. One of them was CoreWeave for the long. We got long CoreWeave yesterday at $90.60. Stock's now trading all the way up here at 105. We got as high as 106.5. I took more profit today. Okay, I took more profit today around 100 or just underneath 100. And then now I'm getting more profits off. I mean, I could sell some right now after hours, but I'm just going to hang out with it. I'll wait to see what happens tomorrow with the inflation numbers. But I'll be taking another piece of profit off on this trade tomorrow. And tomorrow's take profit will be my last and final take profit on this CoreWeave trade. This was my target, was to get back into this previous resistance level that you guys see. You can see right now in the after hours session, we are right back up into that level. Now, I could take profits right now on this move higher after hours, but a lot of my members follow me on this trade, and they bought the call option, which is up well into the triple digits right now. So a big shout out to everyone that followed me on the call option, and they can't sell right now. So I'm going to be a team player. I'm going to wait till tomorrow morning. We're going to see what happens with the inflation data, and we'll see where CoreWeave is tomorrow on the back of this excitement, thanks to Oracle's earnings, and we'll take final profits off on the CoreWeave trade tomorrow morning. But again, congratulations to everyone that followed along with that trade. Then I'll just give you another update on another position that I am in. If you guys have been following, I've been short MicroStrategy for the last several weeks. This has been a beautiful trade for us. We took a bunch of our profits off as we got to our target, which was 320. 320 was our target. I got out of 90% of my position. I'm in a runner, which is just a small little 10% piece. In case 320 breaks, we could see another, maybe another $10 move or so to the downside. So I'm just hanging out there for that. All right. But again, that's just a runner. MicroStrategy has been weaker than Bitcoin, right? I would just take it to IBIT. IBIT's been kind of consolidating, trading sideways for the last couple of weeks, but MicroStrategy has actually been drifting lower. So there is some relative weakness there on MicroStrategy. And if you were to get a situation following the inflation data that maybe spooks the markets a bit, gives you a little bit of a sell-off and risk-off type of environment. If the NASDAQ and tech stocks were to sell off, Bitcoin probably sells off with it. And if Bitcoin sells off, then I think that MicroStrategy breaks the 320 support level. But that was my target when I shorted this stock. I shorted this stock all the way back here. Okay, that was my target. We got there, and I'm out of 90% of the position, just holding on to 10% just in case we get a little bit more of a follow-through move. So those are the two positions that I am already in. I've been in them for a few days, so I wanted to just give you guys those updates for those that have been following along with that. Okay, does anybody have any questions for me about tomorrow's inflation or about the positions that I'm in or something about the jobs numbers or anything else? If anybody has any questions for me, the time to ask is now. Trump tariffs are to blame for the bad jobs data and Musk Doge firings. Powell was doing great fighting inflation before Trump tariffs. So actually, Richard, that doesn't make any sense, what you just said, because these job revisions, the bad jobs data that we got is actually for the 12 months, March 2024 to March 2025, when we didn't have any tariffs, bud. The tariffs were April of 2025. The job revisions that we just got was from March 2024 to March 2025, which is before any tariffs. So your statement is incorrect. But who gives a shit? Who cares? Who cares who's to blame for the jobs data? Who cares? This isn't a politics channel. I don't care who's to blame for anything. All I care is how I'm going to make money from this. That's it. That's all that matters. How can we make money from what is happening in front of our eyes? You want to play the finger pointing game? Go to Facebook. There's plenty of people on Facebook that would love to hear you rant and complain about nonsense. That's not what we do here at True Trading Group. That's not what's going to make you money in the market. I'll tell you right now, we have 10,000 members. I do one-on-one mentor sessions with all of our members. I can't tell you how many people in 2016, when Trump won the election, how many people told me that they're scared, they're going to sell everything because the stock market's going to crash. Wrong. Stock market went to all-time high. Then when Biden got elected in 2020, I can't tell you how many people thought that Biden was going to crash the economy and they were going to sell everything. Wrong. The stock market made a new all-time high. Then Trump gets elected in 2024. I can't tell you how many people told me I'm going to sell everything. Trump's going to crash the stock market. Wrong. We're back at all-time highs. You get the point. You get the hint. It doesn't matter who's in the White House. And if you make investment decisions based on which politician you think is better than the other, then you're going to lose. And you're going to lose miserably. Because when something like April happens, you're going to panic. You're going to sell everything because you think Trump is going to ruin the world. And you sell at the dead bottom when everybody else that knows a thing or two is buying, you're selling. And the joke's on you. Just like back in 2022, when the markets were crashing and everybody thought the world was going to end. Oh, I'm going to panic. I'm going to sell. Everything is Biden's fault. Joke's on you. That was a buying opportunity. An amazing buying opportunity. You guys have to decide if you want to do this seriously or if you just want to play games. Because if you just want to play games, there's plenty of Discord rooms for you to go and hang out in. But if you want to take this seriously and you really want to learn how you can better your financial situation for you and your family and put aside the political nonsense and your political bias and all the bullshit that does not matter at all, take that stuff with you to the ballot box. But when you open up your trading account in the morning, the last thing you better be thinking about is how much you like or dislike the president. Because it has no bearing on what's going to happen in the markets, and therefore it has no bearing on what decisions you should be making with your money. And if you make investment decisions with your political beliefs, you are going to screw things up. Just like the people that sold in 2016, just like the people that sold in 2020, and just like the people that sold in 2024. You are going to screw it up. I have my political beliefs. Of course, I vote. But I take that stuff with me on election day. I don't take that with me Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 4 because it does me no good. It does me no good. And it's going to do you no good. You don't think professional hedge fund managers have political bias and have political beliefs? You don't think there's hedge fund managers that hate Donald Trump? You don't think there's hedge fund managers that hated Joe Biden? Do you think that made them sell everything or short everything? Of course not, because they have a job to do. They have a job to do. And that job involves making money for their clients, period. And half of their clients love Joe Biden, half their clients hate him. Half their clients love Trump, half their clients hate them. Half their clients love Kamala Harris, half their clients hate them. At the end of the day, none of it matters. They have to make money. And that is what we do here. At the end of the day, none of it matters. We have to make money. And I promise you, with every ounce of blood in my body, to always tell you what I think you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I will not influence and show you my political beliefs and my political opinions. I will only tell you what I think the market's reaction is going to be to those things. And that's how we make money from it. That's what you get from True Trading Group. That's what you're going to get from me. Like me for it, hate me for it, don't care. That's what's worked for me for 20 years doing this. And I'm going to continue to do it for another 20 more. The question is, are you going to be doing it with me, or are you going to have quit because the Discord room that you were in didn't pan out? The $2 stocks that you kept buying didn't become the next Palantir. You got to decide how serious you want to take this. Because if you want to take this seriously, the platform is there for you. The opportunity is right in front of your face. Award-winning tools and resources, partnerships with the best companies in the world, global community, 8 professional head traders that guide you through every single day. You want to give yourself a real chance of succeeding? It's right here. It's right now. It's right in front of your face. You got to decide how serious you're going to be. That's it. I can't, like I said, I don't sugarcoat anything. I give it to you straight. That's it. TTGoffer.com. $197, 90 days. Join us, then tell me I'm wrong. Tell me we suck. Join us and tell me True Trading Group's the worst thing you've ever bought in your life. I guarantee you're not going to say that. Because our 10,000 members that have a retention rate well into the 70%, and all the people that sit here telling you that they're making money, there you go. Have any questions? Text us 1-888-621-2127. Again, that's 1-888-621-2127. Again, that is 1-888-621-2127. We have to welcome Jeremy. Jeremy just joined. That means we're down to 14 spots. Everybody welcome Jeremy to the TTG fam. My pleasure to have you part of the group, Jeremy. Everybody welcome Jeremy. Guys, again, ttgoffer.com. You text us with any questions, or if you need help, 1-888-621-2127. And listen, members, we're going to open the chat up tomorrow at 8 a.m., not 8:20. So the main chat room usually opens up at 8:20 a.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, we're going to be opening up at 8 a.m. Eastern. So main chat opens tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 8 a.m. Eastern Time. 8 a.m. All right. That's it, folks. Jeremy, welcome to the family. That does it here. That does it for us. I'll see you guys all here tomorrow. We're going to get some PPI inflation data. We'll see if that takes markets to new all-time highs or if we get a little bit more of a downward type of pullback. We'll see. I don't know what the inflation data is going to come in at. I'm not trying to predict the future. I don't predict the future. I don't try to predict the inflation number because it's pointless. What I do is I like to try to figure out what's the market's reaction going to be if the data comes in X, what's the market reaction going to be if the data comes in Y. That's what I try to figure out. And then once you get the actual data comes through, I then position myself from that point forward to make money from the move that follows. That's what I'm here to do. I gave you my breakdown. I gave you the rundown on what I think we're going to possibly see here tomorrow with that inflation number. And here we are, a stone throw from all-time highs. What are we, like 0.2% from an all-time high, something like that. So we're right there. We got to see what that inflation data comes in at. But there's no question the Fed will be cutting rates in September. There is no question that the Fed will be cutting rates more than once this year. It's just a matter of, are they going to cut 2 times? Are they going to cut 3 times? Is this cut in September going to be 50 basis points? Is it going to be 25 basis points? This inflation data you're about to get these next 2 days are most likely going to answer those questions for you. All right. So that's all, folks. That is it. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. All right. Remember, main chat opens 8 a.m. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Jeremy, welcome to the family. Anybody else, text us with questions. Otherwise, go to ttgoffer.com. Have a great rest of your night, folks. Take care, everybody.